Hi everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Dan Pardo. I am a New York-based pianist and music director, and this is Pardo's Turn, my new web series where I do a bit of song analysis from a music director's point of view and perhaps shed a little light on what makes some of the great gems of our musical theater canon so one of a kind. I am very excited to announce that the incredible Chuck Cooper, last seen at the Manhattan Theatre Club in Prince of Broadway, and perhaps best known for his Tony Award-winning performance in The Life, has agreed to help kick off the series with an exploration of Old Man River from the 1927 landmark musical Showboat, written by Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein. Old Man River juxtaposes the struggles of Black America with the mighty Mississippi, painting a musical picture that is both tragic and hopeful, sad and uplifting, like a river, winding but persistent. The main chorus of the song uses a vocabulary of notes known as the pentatonic scale. It's a 5-note scale, most easily demonstrated with the black keys on a piano. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or, in the context of Old Man River, all black keys. The pentatonic scale is actually most often used to illustrate Far East Asian cultures like My Lord and Master from The King and I, and so forth. But historically, the flowing and open quality of the pentatonic mode is also used to represent water, like in Debussy's evocative prelude, The Sunken Cathedral. Thank you. So its use here is quite fitting. Now, in the verse of the song, the two halves of each line, known as the antecedent and the consequent phrases, rise and fall so naturally that they could practically tell the story with no words at all. Yada-dum pum pa-da-dum pum pa-dum. Yada-dum pum pa-da-dum pum pum. Yada-dum pum pa-da-dum pum pa-dum. Yada-dum pum pa-da-dum pum pum. But as powerful and as effective as the melody is, it's brilliantly harmonized as well. The opening stanza, which personifies the Mississippi River, sounds like a spiritual, with simple diatonic chords rooted in the American South. As Leonard Cohen might put it, it goes like this. The fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, major lift. But in the second verse, the very same melody is harmonized with juicier secondary dominant chords typical of 18th and 19th century European influence. They're borrowed from other tangentially related keys. You can see on the page with the accidentals, the flats and the sharps that it gets a little bit more complicated. And when you look at the lyrics, it makes sense. Let me go away from the Mississippi. Let me go away from the white man boss. And when I take a look at water, not in a musical sense, but in a real sense, waves, tides, currents, you notice the rushing back and forth, going in and then going out. And when you take a look at the chorus of this song, especially the final chorus, the notes keep retracing their steps in a similar fashion, slowly working their way higher and higher up the pentatonic scale. Then back down, then up, then down, then up, then up, then down, then up, back and... They're slowly working their way up and down the pentatonic scale like water working its way into the riverbank, slowly carving the course of this river towards the freedom of the open sea. How cool is that? So here with me now is the fabulous Chuck Cooper, who actually chose Old Man River to sing today. And while I'm really itching to hear his masterful rendition, I just have to ask first, why Old Man River of all the musical theater songs?
Well, when you mention classics, certainly Old Man River is in that pantheon. And it's a song that has, over the course of my career, come to me over and over again. And it is filled with a whole spectrum of feeling on my part. On the one hand, it's you cannot question the composition and the beauty of the song. It's really a masterful work. But the troubling part for it for me has been how comfortable people are with asking me to sing that song.
It's funny you say that because when I thought of you, obviously it was like, well, we could do that, but I didn't want to ask you.
I'm glad you thought that.
I was very relieved and kind of excited at the prospect of doing a deep dive because it's so worthy of this examination.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be the person who's like, well, let's get Chuck to sing Old Man River. And it's funny that you say that.
Yeah. Well, my journey through it, has certainly moved through that uncomfortable, what the heck are they asking me to sing this song about this man who is so at the end of his rope and as the original lyrics said, he's tired of living, scared of dying. And as I grappled with that until I found the Rosen lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found the Rosen lyrics, that flipped the script for me.
For those who are not familiar, the lyrics that Chuck's about to sing, did you insist that they use them for Broadway?
I did. I told Hal that he could get someone else, or I would sing the Rosen lyrics.
Great. So these are ones that Paul Rosen, who made the song famous for the London production and also the first revival and the 1936 movie, changed in his own performance.
Right.
Want to speak to that?
Yes. Well, the original lyrics, which were beautiful and poignant and to some degree, I would say truthful. I mean, there would have to be many men, women who faced slavery and the oppression of that time, who were just ready to give up and ready to die. But the thing about the Rosen lyrics is that they activate Joe. They make Joe a stronger man, a man who takes the metaphor of the river and uses that to move forward with strength and purpose through all of the turmoil and the racism and all that stuff that he's got to deal with. And so for me, in a modern context, I really latched onto that, and that really felt correct for me.
I love that, because a lot of people take a look at the first line that's, what does he care if the world's got troubles, what does he care if the land ain't free, and take that to mean apathy. And I don't think that's true at all. I think it's saying, when you have something as sure and as perseverant as a river, it doesn't need to worry about it because he knows it's true.
No. Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, says, do your work and let go. And that's what the river does. The river does its work. It keeps on rolling along, no matter what. No matter if there's a rapid, no matter if there's a bend in the river, no matter what the world throws at it, it does its job and keeps going.
What I like about the metaphor is that in many cases the water itself creates the path.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talk a little bit about how I think the musical motive kind of carves the path of the river towards freedom. So it's it's not even just doing its work; it's creating the path.
That's true. That's true. And so in my journey to it, I was so thrilled to find this Rosen version, and as I sang it in Prince of Broadway, this song that I had sung for years opened up even more for me. All of the repetition of just keeps rolling, the careful repetition of that. The things that the river doesn't do, the people that are forgotten. But the thing that is important is to just keep rolling. Just don't. I often say that young actors, they ask me, well, how did you do it? How did you last this long? I said, I kept presenting a moving target. Just keep going. No matter what, just keep going.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Keep rolling.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we sing it?
Sure. There's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man that I'd like to be. What does he care if the world's got troubles? What does he care if the land ain't free? Don't look up, don't look down, don't ask, make that white boss frown. Bend your knees and bow your head and pull that rope until you're dead. Let me go away from the Mississippi. Let me go from that white man boss. Show me that stream called the River Jordan. That's the old stream that I longs to cross. Old man river, that old man river, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling. He keeps on rolling along. He don't plant potatoes. He don't plant cotton. And them that plants are be soon forgotten. But old man river, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, bodies all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge, lift that bale, show a little grit, and you'll land but I keeps laughing instead of crying. I must keep fighting until I'm dying. The old man river, he just keeps rolling
What an honor. Thanks so much, Chuck. This has just been terrific. Are you working on anything now or in the future that you'd like to plug, or anything from your talented family?
Well, my talented daughter who's in SpongeBob, has a surprise coming up, but I can't say what it is because they haven't announced it yet. And I'm doing choir boy for MTC in the fall.
Great.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks again. Take me fishing sometime?
Of course.
Thanks so much. And thank you to Chrissy behind the camera, my lovely wife, who shoots and edits this web series and also who kind of helped develop the idea behind it. And thank you all for listening, for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks again. So long.